All right, this is Algebra 2. We're in Chapter 2, Lesson 5. We're going to do completing the square, which means if I have a trinomial that can't be factored, how do I get the answer? So yesterday we practiced going through these and figuring out what C was. What's that last number? And I told you that the way to get C was to divide B in half, and then you square it. And that number gets added to the end for these. And so that's true. This is part of it. All of these that you see here, they can be factored. And even these down here can be factored. But starting on the next page, I'm giving you trinomials that cannot be factored. So I would then use completing the square. So is x squared, let's do the first one. Is x squared plus 6x plus 9 a square or a rectangle? That would mean I need to factor to find the two length and width. So what is the factored form of x squared plus 6x plus 9? Two numbers that multiply to make 9 and add up to 6.
3.
Okay, so it's this. X plus 3, x plus 3. That's going to be like my length and my width. Will that shape be looking like a square or looking like a rectangle? Because look at, this is one side, this is the other side. X could be anything, but right now, is this a rectangle with like opposite sides congruent? Or is it a square, all four sides congruent? Square, because length and width, if they're the same size, that means they're both, all four sides have to be the same. Length and width. So square. Let me zoom in. Okay, this is easy. This is like Friday's homework. Find the term that should be added to the expression to create a perfect square trinomial. So I cut b in half and I square it. 4 divided by 2 squared. Anyways, what's that number that gets added? Whoa, this is taking way too long. 4. B, cut 14 in half and square it. I want you to be able to do this in your head.
49.
49. We can do like one person from each table.
Next one's 60.
So table 8. Cut negative 8 in half and square it. What do I add, table 8? Yep. Table 9. Cut 10 in half and square it. $25. I'll go to table 4 and then 5 and then 6. D, E, F. Table 4, you get to do D. Cut negative 2 in half and square it. What is it? Table 4. Ladies, can one of you say it, please? Do you know it's you? Jalen and Maxine? 2. 2 cut in half is what? 1. 1 squared. So what's 1 squared, ladies? Thank you. Table 5.
25.
Thank you. Table 6, F. And notice how these are always positive. Because even if it's a subtraction sign, when I square it, like negative 8 times negative 8, positive answer. 7. Oh, this should be 7x. Sorry, typo. But we did one like that. Cut 7 in half. You want to do table 3? 49 over 4. And that came from, just in case, 7/2 squared. 7 times 7, 49. 2 times 2, 4. Okay?
Wait, how would you do that?
Same thing. This is b. So you cut b in half, 7 over 2.
And then you just multiply.
And then I go like, multiply it by itself. 7 over 2 times 7 over 2 squared. All right. Number 1. I've already factored it for you. This is going to be the same thing twice. I've already given you C. So you tell me, what was that number when you cut 26 in half, you know? Because that goes here. $13. Number 2. What is that thing in parentheses? Someone new. Let's say it. Like I have to have an X, you know.
Oh,
X plus 1.
oh yeah.
Okay. Number 3. You're basically doing 18 divided by 2. That's the number that goes in the parentheses. X minus 9. Good. And I like the subtraction sign because that makes negative 18. I threw in a number 4, and it has a 2 in front. There's something I need to do first. GCF. X squared. So divide by 2, everything. Like that. Okay. And it's going to be the same thing written twice. What is it?
X plus 5.
Oh, I need negative 10. So close though. Yeah, X minus 5. Do 5 by yourself. Pretty straightforward.
Penis.
Number 5. Oh, table 2. I haven't called on you guys yet. Yep, X plus 8. Squared. Oh, number 6. Right away, the first thing you look at for factoring, always check if there's a GCF.
GCF.
So it's obviously going to be 2. And then you're going to do this. And you have to put what the blank is. You can do it.
Don't talk to my boy like that.
Okay. X minus 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we get into completing the square. Whew. So I'm going to go multiple steps forward with you. Okay? Not only am I going to ask you to find C, then we have to factor it, and then I have to solve for X, which means I'm going to square root both sides. So this is the pretty much same lesson that we did in the spring. Okay, move C to the right. Here's our steps for completing the square. This is use complete the square if you cannot factor a trinomial. Complete the square. All right, first job, and this is the pattern. This step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move C to the right. How do I get negative 24 over to the right?
Adding 24.
Good. Add 24. The reason that I move the C is because I'm going to need to find a new value of C. please write x squared plus 10x, leave a finger space, and then put equals 24. And make it a really big space. All right, next step. Complete the square on this section, the 10. So find b divided by 2. 10 divided by 2 squared, which we did over and over again. And I need to add that number to both sides. So what is 10 squared, cut in half, blah, blah, blah. What is it? So I'm going to add it to one side, and whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. That's the property of equality. In math, you have to. Okay. Now, let's get this item factored, because this is now a perfect square trinomial. It's the same thing written twice. X plus 5. It's always going to be something perfect square trinomial. Equals. Now I can do 24 plus 25. 49. Okay. My last steps here. This is where it gets new. You're trying to get x alone, which means I want to get rid of that squared and I want to get rid of the 5. My end answer needs to be x equals. So I'm slowly getting rid of things. Square root both sides, and that gets rid of the squared, right? So square root both sides. Now, square root and squared cancel each other out. True?
Yes.
That's why I square rooted it, to get rid of the exponent. The only thing I have over on the left is x plus 5. But the square root of 49, I have to put plus and minus 7. Because x could be -7, or it could be +7, +7. They both equal positives. You cannot forget, sir, please, I'm recording. You can't forget this plus minus over here. Because now I'm solving for x. Get x alone. You have to be careful because I'm going to subtract 5, yes, but it needs to go like this. X equals +7 minus 5, and x equals -7 minus 5. I have to do both. Because, see, there was 2 answers, +7 and -7. So 7 normal minus 5, and then -7 minus 5. I'm going to get 2 answers. Seven minus 5 means x equals 2. -7 minus 5 is -12. Those are my 2 answers. Okay. These steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are going to be the steps you follow for everything. Your end goal is to get x equals 2 answers. All right, number 2. C is already on the right side for us. So I'm good as it is. There's no finger space though. So I'm going to go and leave a big space because I have to do b divided by 2. So b divided by 2 means 4 divided by 2 squared. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. Okay. X squared plus 4x plus 4. Factor the left side. I'm on step 3. What is x squared plus 4x plus 4? In factored form, please. It's a perfect square trinomial. They will always be perfect square trinomials on the left. X plus 2. 5 plus 4 is 9. Step 4, square root both sides. Here we go. X plus 2 equals plus or minus 3. The square root of 9 is 3. Some teachers, like I'm going to put minus 2. Some teachers put the negative 2 in front or after, but it means the same thing. 3 minus 2 and negative 3 minus 2. You got to pay attention because there's a plus 3 and a minus 3. But some teachers might put it in front. Negative 2 plus 3, negative 2 minus 3. You get the same answer. So remember, 2 answers. X equals 1, X equals negative 5. I want you to do number 3 without my help. Go ahead.
I finished.
Are you good? I did a lap around. So check mine. These work out perfectly, but guess what? On the next page, they're not going to work out perfectly.
Uh-oh.
Where did my name card go?
I don't even know where you put it on the wall. So
But it's so high, nobody can reach it.
Somebody took it. That's crazy.
Somebody take it down.
I just messed up this thing.
And take bodies down.
did you guys get this?
No.
Okay. Well, look at your work. My work is accurate. Is it this part where you're getting stuck? Like right here? Positive 4 minus 3, negative 4 minus 3. All right. On the next example, this cannot be factored. There's no number, on number 4, there's no number that multiplies to make 1 and adds up to 4. So here's a true, we're not going to get an even number answer either. So move the C to the right. Move C to the right. Leave a finger space, please. Cut B in half, cut 4 in half, and square it. 4 in half is 2, 2 squared. Add 4 to both sides. Now factor x squared plus 4x plus 4. What's that going to be? And you can go on mute. You talked a lot. You know this. So then I just add the 1 plus 4 is 5. What's the next step that I do? Square root both sides. I'm going to write it just again to keep it clear because I'm recording, but you don't need to write it again. All right. I cannot do radical 5. X plus 2 is alone, but I'm still going to go plus or minus and leave it. Radical 5. Positive and negative. You have to leave it radical 5. I don't want a decimal. I don't want you to do it in a calculator. I want you to leave it radical 5.
Uh-oh.
Solving for x means I get rid of the 2. I'm going to put this in front of the plus or minus. Right after the equal sign. -2 plus or minus rad 5. It goes in front. Because I'll show you the wrong thing. If as teachers let kids put it afterwards, this is what we'd get. Plus or minus rad 5. And then we'd have kids going like this. And they'd be like, oh, is it rad 3? Oh, no. So to avoid that mistake among students, we make sure to just put it in the front. Because I don't want someone going, oh, wait, do I make it longer? Is it? Some kid would do that. Lots of kids would do that.
Well, you could put it after.
I really don't want you to.
But like if it makes sense to you.
Formatting needs to be this. And this is what it will look like on all textbooks. Every math teacher for the rest of your life will put it in this format. Yeah. Question?
Yeah, I have a question. So when you divide by 2 and then you square root it,
Uh-huh.
is it going to be that number that you put in the
Yes.
third box?
Like, look. So smart. See how this number, 4 divided by 2 squared, this number always matches that number. Yeah. But I need you to be able to do it in your head too. Like factor this trinomial. X squared plus 4x plus 4 means what multiplies to make 4 and adds up to 4. Oh, okay.
But there's a big one here, and I don't know if it's 7 or 49.
Are you talking about number 5?
Oh, no, it's another one.
What number? I can, because you're going to have to do it anyways.
It's on 2.
It's going to be x plus, it's going to be x minus 7 in the parentheses.
Because I did 14 divided by 2 square root, which is
Squared. Yeah, 7 squared, yeah.
And then what is that in 49?
49 is what you add to both sides. So you move the 8 over first.
Oh, and then you cancel the 49 on the top.
And you would add 49 to both sides. So, do you need to see number 5 or are you ready to start the homework?
Ready to start the homework.
Okay. So there's 6 problems only. I need to see all the steps. I'll stop the video.
Why video?